I didn't expect to experience what I did on that day. As I walked into those chambers, there was an atmosphere. You were amongst people that were liberal, that were radical, and these scales fell from my eyes, and suddenly I just felt this overwhelming passion to be a barrister. I didn't know what one was, but I knew I wanted to be amongst these people in this setting. And then I went to court and it just unfolded and it was better and better. It's like being in theatre, you know, it was incredible. And for the first time, I kind of realised that, you know, I wanted to do law. I had a sense of purpose that would take me straight from school, through uni, through bar school, into my 50s. And that's what it did. It was a really life-changing moment. My name's Nisha Katona, I'm the CEO of Mowgli Street Food restaurants. I was born in 1971, and in those days there was no work experience organised by schools. There was not time off for work experience, but luckily I had parents that were doctors, and so every school holiday I'd go and work in the surgery. So I would work with the files, I would do stapling, I'd do photocopying, all of that, make cups of tea for people. You know, so I was already very early immersed in a working environment around people that were lovely, having nice chats and rich tea biscuits. And so already I thought, God, work is going to be a lovely place to go. So nothing was formal. It was just what I would do in the holidays for buttons if I was lucky. And then I thought I wanted to be a doctor, because it is so powerful when you see, you know, a door with somebody's name on it, and you walk in and they've got a desk and post-it notes. This was for a child, totally aspirational. Thought I wanted to be a doctor, wasn't bright enough, and in fact in my holidays I then started working in a solicitor's office. And I remember one day I was sent to court to deliver a brief to a barrister, and walked into chambers, and there was this epiphany, and I cannot describe how powerful that was. And I went to court with a barrister, and you thought, goodness me, people are paid to do something like this. This is theatre. It's the most exciting thing I'd ever seen. And I remember taking a little piece of the pink ribbon that came with barrister's briefs, and that was kind of my mascot that would motivate me. And I had, for the first time in my life, really that absolute drive, that focus, that knowledge that I am studying in this way and sacrificing all the fun in life for something, and it's worth it. And I have to say that was one of the most important moments in my life. That bit of work experience where I was sent to see a barrister, I didn't expect to be bulldozed by love for a career, but I was, and it can happen to anyone at any juncture. The three words that work experience taught me, or the three gifts, honestly, that they gave me, was some sense of hope, was a sense of ambition, and a sense of real motivation, one that kept me going day by day, one that made me want to study a certain thing and hope that you can have a working life that doesn't even feel like work. Work experience taught me interpersonal skills in a way that nothing else could. Suddenly you're on your own, you're being introduced to adults, you are introducing adults to other adults, you're taking phone calls and arranging the lives of adults. This is extraordinary. So it gives you confidence. But it also just gives you that ability to change the way that you speak. You become chameleonic, you know, you're speaking to the doctors, then the receptionists, then the patients. And all of that is something you learn so naturally and so quickly, and you can only do it when you're immersed in the experience of work. I wasn't always the most confident child. I was a teenager. Work experience gave me that confidence. It gave me that stature that would, you know, really help when it came to me applying myself, applying for jobs. If I was talking to a group of 16-year-olds who were in two minds as to whether to do work experience, I would say it's one of the best things that they can do. It's one of the best fun things that they can do, because they're not invested. They're going to go and see whether they like it. What an honour. And it might be that it's a door that closes to them. They might go and hate it, and then they know they don't want to do that. But that's as important as learning what it is that you do want to do. Without work experience, I wouldn't have the motivation, the ambition, the foresight of what it was that I wanted to do, and I needed that to get through school life. I had some amazing moments in work experience that made me realise what it was that I did want to do, but equally I had a number of moments that made me realise what I didn't want to do, and I'm so glad that I put those behind me. As a child, you have this kind of sketch of what you think life is going to be like. You do work experience, it colours it in and it drives you forward. Honestly, you've then got this 3D coloured image of what your life could be like, as opposed to a sketch that a careers fair might give you. In people applying for work experience, I would want to just honestly see an open-minded inquisitiveness. It's as important for us to present them with something that they don't want to do as that they do want to do. But it's, either way, it's so exciting. It's helping form that young life. There's no such thing as a failed work experience. There's no such thing as failure. If you're doing your best, the right doors will open and the wrong doors will close. And even though you might not feel it in the moment, that's what is happening on the bigger journey, and therefore there is always hope. Everyone should have a work experience story.